Many people reach their mid-60s and quietly accept an idea that is both common and deeply damaging, that life is mostly over, that decline is inevitable, and that the best they can hope for is to manage symptoms while slowly shrinking their world. This belief is so widespread that it feels almost natural, yet it is one of the most unscientific assumptions we have ever normalized. When you look closely at human biology, at long-term population studies, and at what actually happens inside aging cells, a very different picture emerges. The human body was not designed to fall apart at 65. In many ways, it is only entering a new phase of adaptability, one that responds powerfully to the signals it receives each day. Chronological age is a poor predictor of what your body is capable of. What matters far more is biological age, the sum of how your cells function, repair, communicate, and recover. Two people can be the same age on paper and be decades apart biologically. One may struggle to climb stairs, forget names, and feel exhausted by noon. The other may travel, learn new skills, and move with confidence. The difference is not luck or genetics alone. It is the accumulation of daily instructions given to the body over many years, especially the instructions given at the start of each day. Every morning, your body wakes up in a highly sensitive state. During sleep, you lose water, your nervous system resets, your muscles enter a fasted repair mode, and your brain clears metabolic waste. When you open your eyes, your cells are waiting for information. They are asking a simple but profound question: is the environment safe and supportive, or is it hostile and stressful? The answer to that question determines whether your body invests energy in repair and regeneration or shifts into protection and breakdown. This is not philosophy. It is physiology. Stress hormones, inflammatory markers, blood viscosity, muscle protein synthesis, and neural plasticity all respond within minutes to what you do after waking. The first hour of the day acts like a master switch. It sets hormonal rhythms, metabolic priorities, and even gene expression patterns that persist for the next 12 to 24 hours. Over years, these daily patterns compound into either resilience or fragility. One of the simplest yet most overlooked signals you can give your body in the morning is hydration. During the night, breathing and perspiration reduce your total body water significantly. This means that when you wake up, your blood is thicker, circulation is less efficient, and your heart has to work harder to deliver oxygen and nutrients. This state is temporary, but only if it is corrected quickly. When hydration is delayed, the body interprets the condition as mild stress. Cortisol rises, blood pressure increases, and organs receive suboptimal perfusion. Research following older adults for decades consistently shows that early morning hydration is associated with lower rates of cardiovascular events, better kidney function, and improved cognitive performance. The mechanism is straightforward. Water reduces blood viscosity, improves endothelial function, and supports the kidneys in clearing metabolic waste that accumulated overnight. When hydration occurs before caffeine or food, absorption is faster and gentler on the digestive system. The body does not need to divert energy to temperature regulation or chemical processing. It can simply rehydrate and resume optimal function. As people age, thirst signaling becomes less reliable. Many seniors do not feel thirsty until they are already significantly dehydrated. This chronic low-grade dehydration has subtle but serious consequences. Brain tissue becomes more vulnerable to shrinkage, joints lose lubrication, and digestion slows. These changes are often blamed on age itself, when in reality they are at least partly the result of daily neglect of a basic physiological need. Light is another powerful signal that most people underestimate. The human brain evolved under predictable cycles of light and darkness. Specialized cells in the eyes detect morning light and send direct signals to the brain's master clock. This clock orchestrates the release of hormones that control alertness, mood, metabolism, immune function, and sleep timing. When morning light exposure is consistent, these systems stay synchronized. When it is absent or delayed, they drift out of alignment. In older adults, this misalignment often shows up as poor sleep, afternoon fatigue, low mood, and impaired memory. Morning light suppresses melatonin at the right time and allows cortisol to rise naturally, creating alertness without anxiety. It also stimulates serotonin production, which supports emotional stability and motivation throughout the day. Over time, regular exposure to natural morning light is associated with longer telomeres, the protective structures on chromosomes that are closely linked to biological aging. Indoor lighting, no matter how bright it appears, does not replicate the full spectrum and intensity of natural daylight. Even on cloudy days, outdoor light provides signals that artificial sources cannot. As the eyes age, they become less efficient at transmitting these signals, which means older adults actually need more light exposure, not less. Yet many spend their mornings indoors, behind curtains or screens, unintentionally depriving their brains of one of the most powerful regulators of healthy aging. Nutrition in the morning sends another critical message, particularly regarding muscle and bone health. After age 60, muscle tissue becomes more resistant to growth signals. This condition, known as anabolic resistance, means that the body requires stronger and earlier stimuli to maintain muscle mass. Without sufficient protein early in the day, the body compensates by breaking down its own muscle tissue to meet basic amino acid needs. This process is gradual and often unnoticed until it reaches a tipping point. Loss of muscle strength increases the risk of falls, fractures, and loss of independence. Falls are not benign events in older age. They are among the strongest predictors of disability and mortality. The prevention of muscle loss is therefore not cosmetic or athletic. It is foundational to survival and quality of life. Morning protein intake takes advantage of the body's natural hormonal environment. Growth hormone levels are higher after sleep, digestive efficiency is improved, and muscle tissue is more responsive to amino acids. Complete proteins, which contain all essential amino acids, are particularly effective at triggering muscle protein synthesis. When adequate protein is consumed early, it sets a positive metabolic tone for the rest of the day and reduces the likelihood of muscle breakdown. Balance, often taken for granted in youth, becomes a critical skill with age. It is not a single ability but a complex integration of visual input, inner ear function, and proprioceptive feedback from muscles and joints. These systems require regular calibration. Without practice, the neural connections that support balance weaken, reaction times slow, and the margin for error narrows. Short, daily balance exercises provide a powerful stimulus to both the brain and the body. Standing on one leg may appear simple, but it demands constant micro-adjustments controlled by the brain. This activity stimulates regions responsible for coordination, spatial awareness, and memory. Imaging studies show that balance training can increase gray matter density in areas that typically shrink with age. The timing of balance practice matters. In the morning, the nervous system is especially plastic, meaning it is more capable of adapting and strengthening connections. Even brief sessions can produce measurable improvements in stability and confidence within weeks. These changes translate directly into reduced fall risk and greater freedom of movement. Perhaps the most profound morning signal is breathing. Breathing patterns directly influence the autonomic nervous system, which governs the balance between stress and repair. Shallow, rapid breathing activates the sympathetic nervous system, increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and inflammation. Slow, controlled breathing activates the parasympathetic system, promoting relaxation, digestion, immune function, and cellular repair. Specific breathing patterns that emphasize a longer exhale have been shown to stimulate the vagus nerve, a major pathway connecting the brain to the heart and internal organs. Activation of this nerve improves heart rate variability, a strong predictor of longevity and resilience. It also reduces cortisol levels and inflammatory markers that accelerate aging at the cellular level. Oxygen delivery is another critical factor. As people age, lung elasticity decreases, and breathing often becomes shallower. This reduces oxygen exchange and allows carbon dioxide to accumulate, creating a more acidic internal environment that damages tissues. Deep, deliberate breathing improves gas exchange, reactivates underused areas of the lungs, and enhances circulation. Over time, this supports better energy levels, cognitive clarity, and cardiovascular health. What is particularly striking about these morning practices is not their complexity, but their simplicity. They require no expensive equipment, no medications, and no extreme effort. Yet they influence systems that scientists once believed were fixed after a certain age. Telomere length, brain plasticity, muscle regeneration, and autonomic balance were long thought to decline inexorably. We now know that they respond dynamically to daily behavior, even in advanced age. The real power lies in synergy. Hydration improves circulation, which enhances the delivery of nutrients and oxygen. Light synchronizes hormones, making the body more receptive to movement and nutrition. Protein provides the raw materials for repair. Balance training challenges the brain and muscles together. Breathing sets the nervous system into a state where healing is prioritized. Each practice amplifies the others, creating a cascade of positive signals that reinforce resilience. Change does not require perfection. Starting with one habit is enough to begin shifting the trajectory. The body responds quickly to consistent signals. Within days, people often notice improved energy and mental clarity. Within weeks, strength, balance, and sleep quality can improve. Over months and years, these changes accumulate into a biological profile that looks far younger than the number on a birth certificate. Aging is inevitable, but accelerated decline is not. The difference lies largely in whether the body is repeatedly told that it is safe to invest in the future. Each morning presents an opportunity to send that message. The choices made in those early minutes ripple outward, shaping not only the day ahead, but the years to come. The question is not whether it is too late. The human body retains an extraordinary capacity for adaptation well into old age. The question is whether you will give it the signals it needs to express that capacity. Tomorrow morning is not just another routine. It is a vote for the kind of future you want to inhabit, written not in hope, but in biology.